Hey everybody, John the Other here, obviously. And I have a question today. The question is, why is diversity our strength? Now you've heard this before, of course, the assertion that diversity is our strength, usually vomited up as a platitude from a politician or some other low-level authoritarian bureaucrat. And it's a numbing mantra. It's a thought-terminating cliche, a saccharine, sickly sentimentalism designed to fool you into believing that a false premise is a virtue. But it numbs your thoughts. Through the hypnotizing effect of repetition over years, you might find that you've been worn down into superficially believing this idea, that virtue is our strength. Your attention is a finite resource, and you can't subject every single thought to rigorous analysis, so, like most people with adult responsibilities, you let a lot slide. And eventually maybe just go along with this one. It seems innocuous, bland, and noble so long as you don't pay it close attention, but even going blandly along with this idea, it numbs your thoughts, because a part of you knows that it's false, even while you go along with this rather bland idea with a vaguely positive veneer of respectability. But what is diversity? Most people can't answer this question because while diversity is constantly pushed on us as if it's a virtue, it's never clearly defined. Well, I will offer two definitions. The first is that diversity refers to a degree of difference between the members of a group, and that could be marbles in a bag, cookies in a jar, or, people in a city. Now this definition is literal and not political. This, by the way, is not the diversity that we are told is equal to strength when we are vomited on in public by our elected officials. The second definition of diversity is not literal, but philosophical and political in nature. In this second definition, diversity is a concept that individuals do not exist except as samples of whatever group they happen to belong to. You are not yourself. You exist only as a token of your group. You're a white, or you're a black, or you're a male, or you're a female. Maybe you're a homosexual, maybe you're a bisexual, or a heterosexual, or a whatever sexual. And these are the important and significant things about you, not your individuality, just your group identity. You are not an individual person. Nope. You're just a token of various group identities. Diversity is our strength. If you subscribe to a philosophy in which there is no such thing as an individual, then of course diversity is strength. A single and singular group identity for all people is a monoculture, fragile, repetitive, and simplistic. Of course, in a universe lacking individuals and populated only by the representatives of group identities, we would certainly need to seek out other tokens to avoid that fragility and monotonous rigidity of a total uniformity in a culture. And how sad for anyone who actually believes that they are only a collection of uninteresting group identities: black, bisexual, woman, white, gay, man, Asian, straight, disabled woman. Oh, look at that, disabled, finally some distinction. And no surprise that subscribers to this idea should seek to generate an endless parade of imaginary sexualities and gender identities for themselves. They are desperate to stand out, while also terribly fearful of the censure they are sure will fall on them should they cease to give voice to that platitude, that diversity is strength. Understanding it is the idea that there is no such thing as an individual, but only the person as a token of their group. The idea that you, as a distinct and individual person, do not exist. And here is the recognition of confusion between the literal and obvious differences between people and that philosophy which asserts that you are only a collection of uninteresting group identities: black, white, gay, straight, male, female. Pick a couple of categories, put them together, and claim your identity and be nothing except a collection of stereotypes, because there is no such thing as the unique and individual you. Diversity is our strength. Diversity is our strength. Your technological and biological distinctiveness will be added to ours. Resistance is futile. But the confusion between the fact that people are not identical to one another, which is to say, the literal definition of diversity, and the idea that there are only group identities and not individual people with individual quantities, is a weapon used against you every time you hear that numbing phrase, diversity is our strength. You are not the same as the person riding the bus beside you. She or he might be taller, or blacker, or girlier, or manlier, or whiter, or gayer, or straighter than you. But those distinctions are trivial and uninteresting, because the person who is gayer than you, or whiter than you, or blacker than you, or whatever groupier than you, is not just a token of gays, or a token of blacks, or a token of men, or a token of women. They're a whole complete person with an individual identity, and not, in fact, just a sample of their group. Diversity is our strength. Look, we have both kinds of people here, whites and blacks. We have both sexes here, male and female. Look how virtuous we are. We have samples from all the demographics. Our ant colony has all the classes and specializations of ant workers, warriors, and queens. If you're a man, are you a token representing all other men? If you are black, are you a token interchangeable with all other people sharing your ethnicity? What if you're gay? Are you then nothing but the shared sexuality of all gay people? Is there nothing more to you than these most trivial and uninteresting surface features? Diversity is our strength. You are not an individual, and treating people as tokens of their group is a virtue, right? Diversity, as a concept, is a Jedi mind trick to fool you into believing that you have no personal identity except the one you share with your group. So, is diversity our strength? No, I don't think it is.